Hello everyone, so in this video, I'm going to be going over two sort of mini theories. The first one is that I believe in the sequel to Breath of the Wild that there is going to be a sort of absence of Sheikah tech. It's going to be there, but I think it is going to play a much smaller role than it did in Breath of the Wild, because the whole thing was surrounded or centered around Sheikah tech, like literally the whole thing. I think that it's going to be completely different. Now, the basis of this mini theory is that in the true ending of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zelda says that Divine Beast Vah Ruta is not working. So, this could mean one of two things, and this is assumptions. The first thing could be is that the Ganon that we see in the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer has corrupted them again, but like, come on, that is not a fun plot. We've already had that plot, and that plot's great, but they're not going to reuse the same thing. And I think for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 to be a great sequel and to be unique in itself would for there to be less Sheikah's tech. Okay, so say Ganon takes over everything. Why wouldn't they just use the Divine Beast again? Okay, well, because he could corrupt them again. And if it's broken, I think that in this sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Divine Beasts are going to be broken. They're going to be inoperable. They're going to shut down. Maybe their ancient energy runs out. So there's this ancient energy we know, and no one knows how it's powered. And it could last forever, because it's Zelda, it's a game, they could make it last forever. But I don't think it's going to last forever. I think maybe it could power down. I do not think that the Divine Beasts are going to be usable. I don't think you're going to be able to use them. Maybe you'll be able to use Link's motorcycle again. Who knows? But I think they're going to shut them down. I think that is our little hint at the Divine Beasts aren't going to be working in this game. You're not going to be able to use them. Ganon's not going to be able to corrupt them, because you can't corrupt something that no one can use anyway. You can't corrupt a Divine Beast that doesn't work if it doesn't work, you know? That's how he corrupted them in the first place, because they were glowing blue and orange with their ancient energy. Well, you can't do that if they don't work. So that would keep the plot new. It would make the game, seem more new and less like the same plot, the same idea used over again. Second thing, I saw a video that came out today on the Master Sword. So I'm not going to pretend that this theory is all mine. There have been plenty of videos and theories on the Master Sword, and specifically the Master Sword of Breath of the Wild and what it's going to do in the sequel. However, in the videos I have watched, I did not see the certain detail that I came across while rewatching the true ending to Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the trailer, Zelda says, "I cannot hear the voice inside the Master Sword anymore. Perhaps my power has dwindled." Well, Zelda, perhaps your power hasn't dwindled. Maybe the Master Sword's power has dwindled, because Link's been using it for the whole entirety of Breath of the Wild. Maybe it has to go recharge. Maybe you gotta take it back to the old Deku tree and plug that thing back in and recharge it. Now, I know we see it in the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, and I've seen that pointed out, and I've heard that could be in the end of the game, or maybe it's in the intro of the game. It doesn't really matter, because it could have to be put back to rest next to the Deku tree in the middle of the game, and you have to go get it at the end of the game. Maybe you don't use it in the end of the game. I don't know how that would work, but maybe Zelda's power hasn't dwindled, and the Master Sword has just gotten tired. Because it's crazy. The Master Sword's crazy. There's a whole bunch of lore on that, and I'm not going to get into all that in this video. I suggest that you go watch a video on the history of the Master Sword. But in all the other titles, it has to be recharged when the hero is done using it. So those are my two mini theories. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Tell me if you think I hit this spot on. If you think that there's going to be a huge amount of Sheikah tech in the next one, and maybe I'm completely wrong, I also think that the Zonai tribe are going to be a huge part of the sequel, because that whole chamber down there is all Zonai architecture, and I don't see any Sheikah architecture down there. So, tell me what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.